JV High School presents Tiger Talk. Today's guest flying in from the California State Capitol in Sacramento. Special guest, California State Senator Connie Leyva.
Just a little more about your opinions on Trump's DACA.
So, we have a president who is probably, in my opinion, the most uncaring and meanest president we've ever had in the history of the United States. What he doesn't understand is that immigrants are what make this country strong. Some of our best and brightest are immigrants. And when President Obama instituted the DACA program, he said, we believe in you, and we believe in our DACA students, our DACA citizens that are here, and we will protect you, and you can stay here in the United States. So when Trump came in and decided to undo that, it sent shockwaves, rightly so, throughout the country, and fear in people's hearts. But I think what I would say to everyone is that you have a safe place here in California. In California, we don't feel the way the president does. We know that our immigrants make us strong. We know that all of us, somewhere in our past, someone immigrated from our family so that we could have a better life. So we value you, we welcome you. We just passed SB 54 in the Senate, and that is sanctuary state. So that I hope says to immigrants up and down the state that you are welcome and that we care about you and we're not going back. It's on the governor's desk, and we hope that he will sign it. We think that he will.
That's good, yeah. I know it's definitely comforting for people to hear that. So what was your initial reaction to hearing his choice?
Just total disappointment. Just totally disappointed that as a human being, he had no respect for other human beings.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. So how do you think this decision is affecting and will affect our country?
I always look for the hopeful situation, and I think sometimes it is darkest before the dawn. I think that people are going to be more engaged now than they've ever been. I worry about the fear that people are rightly so afraid, but I think for those of us who were born here, it's our time to stand up and make sure that we fight for everyone. So I think we will ultimately be stronger because of it, but there's going to be some tough times.
Yeah, that's good. So how do you plan to ensure that dreamers can continue their lives in this country?
So unfortunately, it's kind of a federal issue. So what I can do as a state senator is speak to congressmen and women, speak to our senators, federal senators, and make sure that they know how important it is. And then anything that we can do in the state of California, make sure people know they can come to my office and that we're here to help you.
That's good. Yeah, we saw the Mexico-California Corporation that you're a part of. So
yes.
That's good. So living in the Inland Empire yourself, how have you seen this affect your own community?
Well, 70% of my district is Latino. And, before I ran for office, I was the president of my local union. We represented grocery store workers at UFCW Local 1428. And I remember that people, every once in a while, something would come up about someone's status and whether they were here legally or not. And I always said the same thing. I said, well, I don't care. My job is to protect them because they belong to my union. And that's how I feel now, is it's my job to protect everyone in all of my communities. It hurts my heart when people call our office and they're afraid. So whatever I can do, I want to do. But it hurts my heart when people call our office and they're afraid. So whatever I can do, I want to do. But I think the biggest takeaway for me is people have been unhappy about presidents. People have not been fearful like people are now. And I don't want people to be fearful. So anything that I can do to be helpful, myself and my staff, we will do.
Yeah, that's good. And so speaking of, you being helpful, we've seen that you're a huge activist for rights. And so what's one thing that you've done right now for Dreamers?
So we put together a fact sheet and a list, a little a card that we can give to dreamers so that they know what their rights are. Because you do have rights, and a lot of times when we hear things like this, and the president, through Jeff Sessions says, we're taking away the program, people automatically think tomorrow I'm going to be deported. No, you have rights, and so our job is to make sure you know what those rights are. So we have documentation that we can give to anyone who asks us, and we also give it out at every event that we do, just trying to get the word out.
That's good. Yeah, so I don't know if you've seen Trump's recent tweets, but they've caused a lot of confusion. So what's your opinion on the fact that his perspective on dreamers seems to bounce back and forth?
I think that President Trump is an opportunist. I think that he is just looking for whatever opportunity gets him the most publicity, the most likes. So I think that he goes back and forth kind of as the wind blows. I don't think he really knows what he wants to do, which is a little bit scary. I think he's leaving a lot of it up to Congress and the Senate, and I worry that some of those people just don't have a heart for our community as well.
Yeah. So do you think that Trump has the right intentions but is going about it the wrong way?
I don't think he has the right intentions, and I think he's going about it the wrong way.
Yeah. So on your recent Twitter post, going back to Twitter, you posted many pictures regarding events to the Inland Empire. So how have these events brought attention and support to the Dreamers?
So whenever I can, I talk about Dreamers, and when I'm at an event, I try to make sure they know that we are here for them. The DREAM Act for me has been something very personal for a lot of years. Before I ran for office, when we were helping a woman get elected, I was out with 4 young women, and all day we were out knocking on doors, talking to people, and I said, I want to take all of you to Sacramento. You deserve to be there and see what the Capitol looks like. And the car got very quiet, and they said, Connie, we are not here legally. We are dreamers, so we can't fly. And I said, well, then we'll rent a bus and we'll take you up that way. And that's what we did. And I really think that what we have to do is band together as communities and help each other. And that's what I try to do, and that's what my staff tries to do.
Okay, so one last question for you.
Okay.
If you could say something to dreamers right now, what would you tell them?
I would tell our dreamers, you are our future. You are our inspiration. I know the times are tough right now, but hang in there. And there are more of us that love and appreciate you than are those who don't.
Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome. It was very nice talking to you too. Thank you so much.
I'd like to start with the most question that everyone's asking. So what made you want to be in politics?
Very good question. So before running for office, I was in the labor movement. I represented grocery store workers. So if you shop at Albertsons, Ralph's, Vons, Stater Brothers, Food for Less, those were all my member job. It makes a lot of things in society better. So after doing that for 20 years, there was an opportunity. It was an open seat for the Senate, and I thought, maybe I can do more on a bigger level. And that was 3 years ago, and I haven't regretted it yet.
That's good. So what has been the most challenging part of your job?
Oh, goodness. I think that government does sometimes run slowly, and I want to get things done. So there's a time for everything. So sometimes it takes a little longer than I would like. Living in Sacramento 4 days a week away from my family, I don't love that. But that's okay. I knew that was going to be part of the job. But I think that the biggest challenge is probably just wanting to get things done faster, and it just takes a little bit of time.